Is my screen visible? Someone to confirm?
Yes.
Okay, that's what.
Yes.
Cool, 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 cool. So this was the. I'll just start from. I think yesterday we didn't cover much, so I can just go through whatever we covered yesterday we as we continue. So yesterday we just wrote our first program, print the hello world, and I guess everybody is able to write that one. So I also did that, and my code is just running. I think everybody can remember how we do run codes here. Um, we checked about the variable rules. I think now everybody can create a variable and initialize it with a value. Uh, we didn't introduce ourselves to towards variables, and that is why I want us to start today. Yeah, so yesterday we just introduced ourselves to just a simple just a simple variable, simple like naming variables. So we have multiple words variables names, and multiple variable names, as you can see from my screen, variable names with more than these are variables with more than one name. As I said yesterday, that you should your variable names, they should be descriptive, and I think you guys know why should they be descriptive from yesterday's lesson. Uh, we said that in a program you can have several variables, and therefore they should your variable names should be descriptive, because as you write code, it gets getting complex and complex. Therefore, for code readability, you should make sure that your variables are, are, are descriptive. Your variable names are descriptive, I mean. So there is this one. We have several techniques you can to make your variable readable. There is the camel case, as you can see here. The camel case start every word with a with a with a capital letter except the first name. You can see, for example, you can see my variable name. So mstart is in it's in a lower, are they called lower what? I mean they are in lower. It start with a small m, and v, the second name variable, it start with a capital letter, and then there is the name start with uh, capital letter. So you can see this variable name is readable. You can easily read. Can everybody see that? I think everybody can see that. The second one is Pascal case. With this one, every word start with a capital letter. You can see that one we have changed now M to a capital letter, my variable name. The other one is the snake case. This one, for instance, if you have a very large name, you can simply separate the words using underscores. Like my name underscore variable underscore name, and then you assign that variable name to as a value, that is John. Um, for practice, I would like maybe someone to unmute his mic, and okay, I have a variable name here. I want someone to unmute his mic and tell me if this if this variable name is varied, anybody to volunteer? There is this variable name I've written there. Is it John? Anybody? Is this variable name varied? I'll choose a random person. If nobody will unmute his mic or her mic. Is this name variable? Okay, Eric. Okay, there is a person. There is a volunteer.
Yes, I don't think it's going to run.
Okay.
It should not start with special characters, underscore, numbers. So I don't think that is going to work.
We can just check. Uh, let's run this one here. Here down. Let's just run this one. Insert just above here. We can try and run it here. So we said how do we? Oh, we said we use the print word to to print to print our variables. Use the keyword print. So let's run this one and see if it will lead us into problem. As you can see, we have a syntax error. Invalid syntax, simply because you have started with a special character. So you should not try to start your variable name with a character. Always use the rules that we ran yesterday to name your variables. So what about this one? Is it valid?
Still no.
I want to change something here. I want to remove this special character. What about this one?
Yes.
So this one is valid. Can we run the code and see
Yes.
the output? As I write this code, you should also be writing in your editor. You can see, in fact, it has displayed John. Yeah, who has tried it in his or her ID. These are some of the mistakes that people do while coding, and then you lead into problems with simply because you did write you didn't name your variables wrongly. So you should make sure that you use the right syntax. We can just continue. There is the you have just checked the snake case. You can try to write this code in your editor so that you can see if it runs. I need us to have an interactive session here. Has anybody written this one? Anybody?
Yes, I did, sir.
Or you have you which one have you run?
The first one, John.
John.
Yes.
All of them are John. Which variable name?
The problem, teacher, whenever I will switch to the page where we're talking, again, it will close the application. So I have to open it again.
Oh, okay. You don't have to do that, but I think
Okay.
they will just run. We can just write here. We try to print this one
Okay.
so that we can see if it runs, or maybe we have a problem with our naming. In fact, I can just copy and paste this one here very fast. And I'm missing a parenthesis there, so I can just run this. and then see if I'll get the output. Why is this? Just print this one. You can copy this code, then insert it into a cell just here above. Control paste. Then we run the code. What is this? Yeah, you can see we have the output, right? Here, print my variable name. We can also try with this one for the snake. You said it's called snake case. In fact, you can modify this one to be a snake case. So underscore yeah, you can also try to run this one and see if it runs. You can see, oh, you have a problem here. This one should also be like this, and then we try to run this. I think you can see it is still print John. Yes, so we have no problem. I guess everybody now is able to name a variable. Anyone with a question about concerning variables? You can just unmute your mic and then maybe you ask a question before we get into data types. Anyone?
Kindly go up to check the first variable that was used.
The first variable. This
Yeah,
one.
that is under John.
Yes. My var is equals to John.
But mine I have run it, but it is not giving.
Have you done the printing? This one I have not printed anything here. So you can just try and print. No, in fact, you shouldn't print my var. Oh shit, I'm typing in the wrong place. Yeah, you have to print. This one is what we call initialization of a variable. My variable, that is variable name, is equals to later in the course we will see that we will learn about something called strings. This double quote means that this one is a string. If it was a number, then we wouldn't require this one, but that is something that we will learn towards the end of this lesson. Have you tried to print it?
And James, Casey has been lifting the hands for a while now.
Okay. Oh,
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. It's okay.
okay. Anyone who is facing difficulties before we get into the other part of data types? I think everybody is good. We are good to go. Let us get into data types. We have is way below here. in fact, there is you can see this one assigning a string to a variable. That is a is equals to a hello world, and then you print that variable. This one was a good example on how to assign a value to a variable. That is a is equals to hello world. Let's get into the other part. Or we can get into data types. So in programming, data types is an important concept, as you can just see there. So variables that we have just learned about can store data of different types. I guess in the case of variables, we just used strings, but there are several data types. We don't have only strings. We have numbers. We have several data types in Python. So I'll just go through them. I'll just go through the categories. There is the text type. We use str for text or string. There is numeric types. Numeric types, they are just integers. Again, we have integers in this category. We have float. We have complex numbers. For example, here we have, for integers, we have whole numbers. Let me just use Raymond's language to explain this. Integers, they are just numbers. I think everybody knows that. Numbers without decimal places. When we come to programming, this means they mean different things. So when we say a number is a float, it must have a decimal place. That one is a float. A complex number, I think we have come across complex numbers. We can have this one is not is equals. You can just use this. Yeah, a complex number is a number that contains maybe an integer and an alphabet. That is maybe 1J plus 2J. These are complex numbers. 2J. This is an example of this should be J. Yeah, this is an example of a complex number. This one, 1J minus maybe I did write underscore instead of a minus. This one is a complex. This is an example of a complex number. We also have a sequence type. These are lists, tuple, and range. We are going to learn about lists. That is supposed to happen today or tomorrow. We will learn about lists. We have tuples. We will also learn about these ones. But range we have a range. We have range. We'll learn about this one in later classes. We also have mapping type, dictionary. This one is to mean dictionary. Dictionaries. This one. Also, we have set types. We have set. We have frozen set. I think these are things that we are going to learn in later classes. I don't want to make things complex at this moment. We have Boolean, of course. Boolean are just they are always yes or no, 1 or 0. These are just mostly we have yes or no or no. We have when you get into binaries, we have 1 or 0. Also, when we come to gender, we have either male or female. Or do we have the other? Yeah, you can either be a male or a female, or you can be both. So someone to answer that. Can you be both?
Yes, you can.
You can be both.
Yes, I am.
So you can be both. So gender is not a binary data type.
Maybe you
But
are
it
loose.
occurs in few
Yeah.
cases.
Yes.
It is few cases.
Few cases.
Yes. Sometimes it is not out.
Okay, but so we can use gender as a binary maybe type, because I see even in toilets we have we don't have both gender toilets. Mostly we have either male or female. So, but anyway, let's continue. That was just an example of a Boolean type. Boolean type. We also have binaries. When it comes to binary, we have bytes. Who knows what is a byte? I think I should also include any person who knows what is a byte.
A byte is a character.
A byte is a
Representation of a character.
representation of a character.
It's a character, in short.
Any other person with a different
A unit of data.
definition?
A unit of data.
A unit of data.
Yes.
How many bits make a byte?
It's 8 bits.
8 bits.
Make a byte.
It's bits. I can see most of you knows about how data is installed in computers. Usually computers do understand binary numbers, so it only understands about 1 and zeros. So even the codes we do right here, it has to be like converted. There is that whole series of process, or there is that process of converting whatever we write here into something we call machine code. So that one we can learn later on. If you want to know more about that, you can just slide into my inbox and then we can talk about that. So data in a machine, they are stored in bits and bytes. So there is also the NaN type. The NaN type, yeah. So that is all about these data types. And okay, we can check. We usually check the data type using this type function. So here, let's try this with our variable here. We can check what type is this using this function type of my variable here, my var. We can print that and see what is its type. Who can guess the output?
It will bring string, sorry.
String. Let's check if you are right. In fact, you can just use another, you can insert another cell here so that you can be able to run this code here. Let's insert. Oh yeah, let's copy this code over here. Then we run. So you can see it prints out John for the first print, and then the second one is a str. So str is just it means string. Okay, so it means string. This variable is of type string. If you change this one to, let's say, a number like 12, and then we try to run this again, you will see we get an int type. Yeah. What if we write, let's say, we can just have a complex number here, and then you see the output. Just try to run that one. You can see it writes complex. To me, this one is a complex. It's a complex number. Any other data type that, okay, we can just write, let's see this. Another data type?
A question.
You can ask.
Sometimes when you are running numerical data, like of integer type, you find that times it's written long or double. So I wanted to inquire, what does that mean?
Oh,
It's
long,
long
double.
or double, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether Python uses those ones. I'm not sure.
Oh, you're not sure?
I'm not sure whether Python uses. Those are from start.
Okay, Python also does use long and float. Actually, float means it's a float. It's a decimal number with actually it is a decimal number. So it uses if at all you have a large value, let's say maybe 1 million point, maybe something. That one is a long integer, or maybe we can call it it's a long. So in Python we do use long. There is the float. In fact, we can have an example of that, so that you can see how we use it in Python. Let's just try to type something there. We can use, let's use this one. But long is not a data type. So you should, let's use this one here. Or we can just have another variable here. We can use just an example. I don't know which example we will use. Okay, we can just have a number variable, and then we can just use long. Maybe let's say we can just use it's a long integer, so we can have, let's say, number string. Let's go number string. And then, in fact, this one is what we call casting. It's a concept that we will learn. It's called casting, and then we can just try to print this one. We print these. We can print. In fact, we can just have a number here. You can just try to print a number, comma. Let me use a tab here. And then maybe we print the type of this number here. Can maybe have the number to be, let's say, can just leave it like that. Then we see what will be out. Oh, we haven't printed this one out. Name long is not defined. What could be the problem here? Okay, let's say we have a number here. We can just try to cast. Let's say we have a number string here. Let's go number string. So it would be, let's say, 10 point. I just have just an integer here, and then you can just try to cast it into long. This is a concept that is a bit advanced, but we'll just try to cast it into. But by casting, I mean changing now. This number is of type integer. We can just try to cast it into long using this code here. I can see. Okay. I don't know why we are adding into this problem here. Okay, let's try to use a different. You can try and print this. Oh, it's already printed. You can see a string number J plus string. I don't know why long it is not being casted, but you can see that our, okay, let me try and print. First of all, before casting, I print the type of number string. I mean, number underscore string. Then we can just write the type. Underscore string here. We print before casting and after casting. You can just use this one before cast and after cast. After cast. This is a concept that we will learn later on. You can see the first number is an integer here, and then after casting, you can see now the same number 10 is a string. This is the same case with long float. Mostly for long we use large L, and for float we use F. Mostly it is in other languages, but also in Python we do have this. Only that it is maybe rarely used. So that is it. I think is your question answered?
Yes.
Okay, we can just continue with any other person with a question concerning data types? Any other person? Any other person?
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm stuck. I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, you are just doing some casting. There is a question that was raised about long and float, and you are just doing something we call casting. So it is a concept that we learn later on. So any other question with data types?
So
We are
so
still
we
in
are going to learn it later.
Yeah. Casting. It's a concept called casting.
Okay.
Yeah, only that person asked a question. Any other question concerning data types?
Okay, so in other language,
Okay.
I saw there is string 1, string 3, 2, 10, 20. So does Python have that one? According to the longer the string, the longer the value of, I don't know, something like that.
I didn't get you. You can in Python you can just have as long string as you want. You can even have a whole paragraph.
Oh, but it's still string.
Yeah, it's still a string. Okay, in fact we can okay, let's say we have a number string here. We can have a whole series of numbers here up to infinity, right?
Yes.
It's still a string, a number string. Any other question? Silence means that we have understood the data types. These are just simple concepts that we are going to apply while coding. So let's get into setting the specific data types in Python. I think even we have covered that while we were doing some casting. So we have if you want to specify the data type, you can use the following constructor. These are called constructor functions. I know most of the people were stuck when I used the type function. So we can just have an example here. Let's say you want to initialize. I'll just let me write it here. An example. Let's say I want to specify the data type for my. In this case, let me use a number string. Number string is equals to, initially you are just saying if it is a number string you can just write some numbers, but you realize these numbers are just with just this initialization you cannot easily tell what is the type of this string. So in most cases we have now you can explicitly like define the data type for this data type. So what we do is we use now these constructor functions here. The first constructor function is the string, the str. This one means string. You can just use this one, st. Can just put this one here, str. When writing codes, you might want to when writing codes, you might want to specify the data type you are using. So in most cases, we use these constructor functions. Like this one now means it is a string, and in fact we can just print this one, and we are going to have the same output here. The number string. These are just basics. You are just you'll be applying them soon. You can add I'll insert a cell here, just right below here, and then we run this. You can see now it is this is a string. This is if you want to you want to specify the data type you are using, but you can still leave it. You can still leave it without describing the data type you're using. There is no harm. You will still get the same output here. So after running, you can see we are getting the same output, because we already know that a string has double quote. The other one is the other one was okay. Yeah, see here. The other constructor is integer. You also use it the same. You just press int before the initialization of this number. Also, we have the float. There was a person who asked about the float. This is what we call float or decimal number. We have the complex. We have 1J. It's a complex number. We have list. I said we learn about lists. We have tuples. In fact, we learn about the differences between tuples and lists. We have range. We have this one is to mean dictionary, but we have the short form for it. We do write it dict. We have sets. This one means sets. You can see most of them we are using parentheses. We have also frozen sets. All these are specific data types. We have Boolean. This one is a Boolean. We have a bytes, I mean. We have bytes array, and then we have a memory view. These are just specific data types. We have an example there, the one that we have just written. This one, a number is equals. You can run these snippets in your Anacoders just to ensure that to familiarize with the Anacoda. We have also another example here. Python strings in Python are surrounded by either a single quotation mark or a double quotation mark. You can choose to use the double quotes or single quotes. Like in our case here, we have hello, the first hello in double quotes, and the second one in a single quote. They will still print the same thing. I think we had learned this code here. And you can see they are just printing the same thing. From there, we are just going to learn a concept that we are going to be using in our data analysis called slicing. This is a very vital concept that you should grasp this concept, because we are going to use this slicing so much in our data during our data analysis. Slicing is actually like, let me just read you the, you can return a range of characters by using a slice syntax. Slice is simply means divide. You can slice maybe a long string into several strings, or maybe you can be interested with a certain or a specific string in a large string. So we use this concept of slicing. We can have an example here. We're just going to use this program. So while slicing, we use these. The first step to using slicing, you must first of all you must initialize your variable. So you can just have a insert a cell here, then we use it. The first thing is initializing your variable. Let's call our variable slice concept. Concept is equals to, we can just use any string. So you can use any string. So what should I write here? Any person to suggest a string that we are going to be using? You can just suggest any string. Unmute your mic and suggest any string. We can use as long you can just use any string. I'll just use the hello world string. Any person?
James Wambugu.
James Wambugu. How do we read the name Wambugu? Wambugu. This way. Wambugu.
Yes.
Good.
Wambugu.
Wambugu. Yes, I guess we can use this one. So this is the first step to slice. You must have that. You must have the string. Where is that? So I don't like using this. You can just search it here. Slice. Good. It's here. The second step, we can choose to print whatever you want to see. So maybe we can start with first of all, we pass our variable name here, underscore concept. Then we have to use this one is called the how do we call these brackets? It's called square bracket. I can see someone is already know we call them square brackets. And then we are just going to pass. Okay. For instance, let's say we want to display the word James. James has how many letters? We have about 5.
5 letters.
5 letters. We can just try to we start from 0. You can just start from 0, or you can just put the colon and then the number of strings you want. It should be 4, and then we try add. Oh, sorry, it's 5, because we have 5 letters. Not it is 4. They are 5. So we run our code and we will see that we have the word James. You can see now we have sliced our initial string into James. This slice concept, we are going to be using it to slice our data sets. So you should grasp this concept of slicing. We can start from A, and then we can just start from 1. The first part is the starting point where you want us to start, and then after colon we write the number that we write where we want to add our string. So you can see we have now omitted the letter J, because we started the initial is 1. Maybe someone could raise a question and ask, why haven't we, if we started from 1, why didn't we print J? Because J is the first. J is the first letter, but we omitted J. So in programming, we always start from 0, not 1. Yeah, that is the reason why we have omitted J when we start from 1. So we always start from 0, then 1, and then the counting continues. Okay, is that concept understood? We can even assume we can maybe print up to number 4, where we'll have only 3 letters displayed. That is A, M, A, S. Okay. Anyone with a question up to that point? Any question about slicing concept?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, James, when do we use this slicing concept here?
Or this slicing concept. This one is used. You will use it when you want to maybe slice sample, maybe a data set. We are going to see its application later on in the course. We'll have to use it when learning NumPy. NumPy, yeah, when learning NumPy. We'll see how we divide a number of certain number of items in a list, certain number of numbers in maybe a dictionary or a list. So what we are doing now is just it's just an introductory part of what we will be learning all through. Any other question? I think the concept is understood. Okay, but I have a question. So can someone volunteer? And tell me, I need this output. It's always good to comment out this. I need this output as Bogo. I need someone to tell me what I'm going to write here so that I can get this output. Any person, any volunteer?
Can I try?
Yeah, you can just try.
Okay. You start with print,
With okay, print.
then the hash output into the bracket.
Slice underscore concept. No.
Then you write no, 0 to 0, sorry.
0.
0 column, that is 6.
6.
Yes.
Are we going to get that output? This output, S or Bogo?
No.
No, no. No.
No, no.
Yes.
Okay, let's see her output, because we can easily get the output here.
Me, James W. Oh, James. Yeah.
You see, you get James. In fact, it is James.
Yeah, but I said the output, the hashtag output, not the slice concept.
Sorry? You said?
The hash output, or is it not?
I need the slice concept. Oh, I need the slice concept. I need this output from this slice concept variable. I think you misunderstood me, but you can try now. I need this Wabogo from this string. In fact, it should be like this, S Wabogo.
You see,
So then it will start from, that is 5 to
5 to
11.
Okay, let's check this one. 5 to 11.
Yeah.
Who thinks that you will get this output?
Should we start from 4 to 11?
Yeah. 4 to 11.
4 to 11.
4 to 11.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just have to. Okay. Let's say this one is. You can just have a 4 to 11 string. Oh, it's 4 to 11. Huh?
Yes.
Any other person who thinks differently?
I think it should start from 5 to 12.
5 to 12.
Yes.
Okay, let's have 5 to 12. 5 to 12.
I think it is 4 to 12.
4 to 12.
Yeah.
This is another person, right?
Yes, another person.
Okay, I need to see who will get this one. In fact, we can just have a paste. You said 4?
4 to 12.
Okay. 4 to 12.
Yeah.
I think you can just try
4 to 13.
4 to 13. This is another person.
Oh, no. 4 to 12. Sorry.
4 to 12 again. We can just have we run this and see who is right. And then I'll just have to comment out that one. And then we run the code. We see who is right, who is wrong. So the last person got it right.
Yes, it was me.
Yeah, you got it right. So can you explain us to how you arrived at 412, if you don't mind? Can you explain? Yeah, are you able to explain?
Okay, it's a little bit tricky.
Okay.
So the total number of words there, it is around James Wambogo, right? It's 10, huh? Yeah, it's 10, eh?
James Wabogo, it's about 12. 12. Yeah, 12. Is it 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are 11.
Okay, so if you want to put the output to be S Wambogo, we should start from James J as the first letter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So ikifika pale E sini letter, it is 4 letter, right?
Yes.
Letter 4. So and you start from S.
Yes, I want us to start from S.
So you take, if I select S, it will start from W. So I will choose one before.
One before W.
That is the E. Then since the total number of letters is 11, I don't know if I can add it there to 12, but I don't know, but that's how it works.
Okay. Any other person with a different explanation?
More or less the same. For the names James Wabogo has 11 letters, so you capture the from letter E that is 4 simply because if you go capturing letter S, it will be omitted.
Okay.
Then the last one, because the last number is 11, you you add one that is like 12 to capture the all letters, or else you'll not capture.
Okay.
Okay. Me.
Another person?
So I think we have included the space as
Good. That is what I was looking for. The space between James and Wabogo is there is a space here. Yeah. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
There is a space. Here it's called in fact it's called a white space. White space. That is how we call it in programming. It's called a white space. It's also counted as a part of the string. So can you count now the string letters, including the white space? How many are they? They should be, that is James has 5, 6 for the white space, and then 6 for
12.
Wabogo. So they are 12.
12.
Yeah. So most of the people guessed. Right? So I can see there is a person who had
Yes.
who had 11 here. So this white space is also is counted as a letter, or as a letter also. So yeah, ask.
If space is counted as a letter, that indicates peer a comma can be counted or a full stop.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything. In fact, if you are, we are going to. In fact, it is just right below here, whereby we'll be counting the length of this string. And we realize that white spaces are also counted as letters. Okay. Any other person with a question?
Okay, noted.
Yeah. That is it. In fact, we can just have can we try a comma? And then we run this code. You realize that we have now, instead of the space, we have a comma, right? This one. S, comma, then Wabogo. Or even you can add an exclamation mark, because it will also be used as maybe a hash or maybe something. But let's use one so that we can get the right output here. You can see now the space is replaced with an exclamation mark, right? I guess that is well understood. Yeah, let's. Or
Okay,
is there anyone with a question?
Yeah, see, I think you can still put 4, then a colon, then it still runs. 4, then a colon, without including the 12.
We just sure. Yeah. It will just cover everything. Or we will have a different.
You have a comma. You have a comma somewhere.
Comma. Yeah. I don't want to put that one there. But we will still get this one. You can just put the starting point without including the end point, or even you can start. But even though you put maybe 12 here, you will cover the whole string, because it will by default it will start from the beginning of the string. So you can just run that one, and then we will see the whole string. I think the concept is understood. Any other person with a question regarding the slice, or maybe something you can add? I think no one. So let's go through this. So slice from the start. You can just read through this. By leaving out the start index, the range will start at the first character. I think we have seen that. If we leave the starting index, we have just left out the starting index here. We will just have to, it will print all the letters in that string. That is what is meant by this. So getting characters from the start to position 5, not included. You can just see this. We left out the starting index, and then we want to print up to 5. So we'll end up having hello only. We have a slice to the end. By leaving out the end index, the range will go to the end. I think we have also seen that. 2, and then we leave out the heading index. So we'll have this. It will start from 2. And where does our 2 start? 0, 1, 2. It will start from where the
Letter E.
The L, is it letter E is?
E.
Yeah, L, starting from L, double L, O, and then it continues. So there is something we call negative indexing. I think we have not covered this, but we can give it a try. So use negative indexes to start the slice from the end of the string. For example, there is a simple example here. From O in the world position to position -5. We can just have this. can try to print out this. We see the output. Who can guess the output? Oh, it's already here. So it will start from -5. -5. -5 starts from somewhere O. Then we are in this. We are starting from -5 to -2. So we will end up with O, then R here, and then we'll have the L. I guess this one is just self-explanatory, unless if someone has a question. It's just as simple as that. But rarely do we use this negative indexing. Any question up to that point? Any question? If no question, we can go ahead to the string concatenation. Our string concatenation is now joining strings. You can join strings. You can see our first variable is hello here, and then we have b is equals to our world, and we can just concatenate using the plus sign. This is different with other languages. That is why I said Python is more of English. So you just have to add variable A plus variable B, and then we'll print. Can we run this? Let's run this together so that we can see the output. Let me try to manipulate this. You can just have an insert cell above, and then have this here. We try to work out this. This is what we call string concatenation. And something to note, while writing your code, you should at least explain your code. This is what we call string concat. You always use concat, or you can just finish the word string concatenation. It's a good practice to simply say what you are writing. In fact, it is something that we are going to learn. It's called comments. Commenting your code. Simply because you are not the only guy who will read that code. You might be writing a software or maybe doing a data analysis, and your supervisor, someone needs to go maybe through your code. So it's always good to indicate what you are writing. So every time you want to write a line of code, just have a comment explaining what you are doing. It's a practice that we it's a coding culture. So we can just run this. You can see now we have hello world. It is concatenated. If we change this one maybe to James Wambogo, use this string Wabogo, and I doubt if this is the spelling of James Wabogo. You can see now we have concatenated this string. You can even have more than two strings. We can have a D here, then we assign it to any name, James Wabogo Azimio. So we will have to add D for Azimio. I think James Wabogo supports Azimio team. So you can just have James Wabogo as Emil. You can concatenate as many strings as you want. So any question with string concatenation? Again, this one is a very vital skill that you are going to use later on.
Naulizaje,
Uh-huh.
can you concatenate strings and like integers?
Or string and integers.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Tunaweza fanya hivi example sababu nilikuwa nafanya personally ikaniletea some type errors.
But you must do something we call casting. Yeah, you can cast. Can you mute?
Oh.
Yeah, just mute your mic. You can concatenate, but the one you must cast that integer into string, or that string into integer. Either way, so that you can able to concatenate them. Is that well answered?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question? Any other person with a question? I think I have given these notes. You should try and run these codes in your Anaconda IDE or any other IDE that you're using, so that you keep on practicing, and then you will eventually get there. These are just simple. In fact, this one is these are fundamentals for Python programming. If there is no other question, then we can get into some string methods. They are called string methods or functions. We have a function to capitalize. Capitalize is now you can have an uppercase, the first letter in this sentence. Can everybody see this text? It starts with a small letter. We can use this capitalize to capitalize, like to make the first letter in this string a cap, and we can just run this, copy this, and then you can just comment out this, we paste it here, and then we run the code. So you can see initially our text had a start with a small letter, but now after capitalizing the text, we have a hello, it starts with a capital letter. So I can explain this code. The first step is again, you initialize this. You initialize our text variable with a string. The second thing is now to assign x to this value. After now capitalizing, we must assign this value. In fact, this one will be a value that we are printing out here. We must assign it into another variable so that you are able to print. You can still use the same text as a variable, and then you print out text here. Where is this? you can still we have the same output. Okay, how this code do run, it 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 like start from the first line of code. It is sequential in nature. So it will just first okay, we have something we call compiler. So what it does is it start with the first it checks from your editor. Okay, have you written have you initialized your variable well? Okay, it goes now to the next line. It again now reads your next line, and then it will just read now the output. In case if you had maybe a variable like text1, and then you happen to print out maybe a different what a different text here. You use a different text here. You will again have some errors here. You are supposed to get an error here. As it run the code, you can just try to run this well.
When I'm getting an error.
Hello? You are getting an error?
Yes, me, I'm getting an error actually.
Yes, you should get an error because after now adding text1 or before. Hello? After writing x1 here, you should get an error.
Yes.
Yes, after error, you should get an error here because now you have different variables. So that is the work of compiler. Its work is just to go through your code and ensure that you have the right syntax. So that is the work of a compiler. Maybe for those who haven't heard about compiler, that is it. Unless anyone have a question with the string concatenation. Any other person with a question? Oh, using now the sorry, you now capitalizing using this method for capitalize. You can read more about this capitalize method in a Python documentary. I'm sure I'll give you a link so that you can read more and more about string functions. There is a lot to learn from the documentary. Only that I had to just give this function. There are so many functions to manipulate strings. I'll give out the link to the documentary. There is another function that we call count. I think there is a time I said that we are going to do some counting. What if now you want to know how many letters and how many names? Maybe let's say apple. How many apple names are in this string? We can use method count. Very fast, let's just run this code because I can see time is not on our side. Text X. Can we run this code together? I'm getting print apple. This string concat. Let me add another cell here. that I can run this. What is the output? Anyone who has run this code?
Yeah, it's 2.
Is 2.
But I was wondering why is it 2 and one has an S?
Yes, that is what I'm wondering too. It's supposed to have to be 1.
Yeah, but I have 2, you have 2, so I don't know.
Let me just try to run this one again. Now we have 1. Huh? Apples is 1, but apples are 2. I love apples. Can you try and add another apple here? And see what is the output. Okay, we can pass in apple. Who is also getting 3?
Yes, the same.
You're getting 3?
Yes.
I think this is something I haven't figured out. Who is using a different?
I'm getting this.
You're getting? You're getting 3. I think this is something I have to figure out. It should be 2. But
I think it's correct, sir.
Why? Why? And apples is different from apple.
No, it maybe it excludes the S.
How? I haven't. You know. When you are writing codes, you are instructing your machine to do what you want, not what it wants to do. Like I want it to count only the apple words. And now it is including the apples. This is something I'll figure out. I'll tell you what is wrong with this one. Or who is there a person who is using a different IDE?
Yeah, VS got the same.
You got the same?
Yeah.
I think I should figure out this one. And then I'll tell you the reason. Because it should count the number of apple, not apples. I do my research on that, and I will tell you. We can now get into. Is there any question about count or any other function? There are so many functions that help us manipulate strings. There is the length method to check the length of a string, but we are not going to use those ones at this moment because of time. I'll give you a link so that you can read about those functions. There are so many. Any other question?
Mine, the answer is 3.
Your answer is 3 also?
Yeah.
Mine is 0.
Why? You did write the same code. I love apples. Apples are my favorite fruit. Apple is my favorite fruit. I mean, did you have that string?
Yes.
Yours is rating 0.
0, yeah.
No, you shouldn't get a 0. In fact, you shouldn't get a 0. At least you should get a 2. You will send that. You will send me a screenshot, and then I'll check that. What is the problem there? In fact, the explanation is just here. Definition and usage. The count method returns the number of times a specified value appears in the string. A specified value. Okay, does this mean that if I maybe have a comma here and then maybe I have another name, let's say Z, will it count apples? Let me check this. And in fact, it is counting now. It is counting apples. So I guess it counts the number of instances of the specified word. So I can see here you have an apple up to that point, apples. Yeah, I guess it should be like that. The specified value appears in the string. So we have apple in apples, and we have apple, and we have apple in apples. So yeah, it's right with this explanation. The number of times a specified value appears in the string, that is count. We have the syntax. You can read through the syntax. We have the string dot now count. We have the value, and then start, and then end. I think we should have we should try out this one out. And we said our classes for programming will be ending at 8:30, so that we can at least cover a lot. We have wide. The programming is quite broad compared now to the Excel. So we will be ending our classes at 8:30. The other, so we have this example here. Search from position 10 to 24, and we are searching the word apple. So position 10 again. When you count these letters, position 10 starts here. Is it here? We have 1, 5. No, 1, 2. This is 6. There is 1, 5 apples. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the whole space. 8, 9, 10. So we are starting at this point. So you will get 1 because we only have 1 apple from this point. I think that is it. You can try it in your Anaconda, and then you'll just get that output. So that is the syntax for using count. We have the value we want to count. We have the starting point and the ending point. You can just indicate that start and the ending point using numbers. These are the indexes. I think that is it for that. You can ask question if you have, and if you don't have, you can just go ahead to some expressions here. So in programming, you often need to know if an expression is true or false. These are the Boolean data type we learned there before. So if you want to again to get an expression is true or false, you just have to use these. These you just have to use these are they called operators? These operate the greater, the equal, or the less than operators. You will just have to use these. You can easily get if a statement is true. Is 10 greater than 9? I guess that is right. We will return true. So we can just have this print, so that we can, in fact, let's print all so that we can insert a cell above here. We can just try to print out these statements and see if they are to run this code. So you'll get 10 is greater than 9. Print is equals. This one is equals means in programming we have double. This double equals means to check if the numbers are equal. Use double equal sign, and is 10 less than 9. This one is a false, definitely. You can have another one. Print. Let's have something like, let's say 20. We can use strings. You can compare strings. I guess. Let's just use this. Is equal to con. And we can check. You can see also we can check this expression if it is true that con is equals to con. If we, in fact, if we put a different string here, we'll get a false, because this one is not equal to this one, right? That is all about Boolean. They are just simple. We can just go next to let's see this one. Again, this is the same thing. The following will return false. In fact, there are not many values that evaluate to false except empty values. Again, this one you should keep in your mind this, that so many there are just few values that evaluate to false. Like an empty string will evaluate to false. An empty array will evaluate to false. An empty dictionary will evaluate to false. Yeah, these are just interesting things to learn. We can go to comments. This is where now I want us to learn about comments. I think this is the last part of this discussion. Comments, as I said earlier, is that when writing any code, using any language, any programming language, it is good to comment out your code, because it might you're not the only guy who will read about that code, or maybe be operating about that code. So it is a good it's a good practice to comment out your code. So how we do that is using this hash. Mostly we use in Python we use hash what? It's called the hash to comment out. You can see if I comment out all these stuff, it doesn't run. I think all of you have noticed that comments do not run. Let me show you. I can just show you here. If maybe we were to print 10 is greater than 90, and then we happen to write a comment here. We're just doing a check. If 10 is greater than 90. Greater than 90. So you will notice if we run our code, this check if 10 is greater than, or I omitted R, typo. If I run this code, we realize that this part will not run. Huh? So comments do not run. If I run that one, you will get definitely that 10 is not greater than 90. But you realize that this part did not run. But if I was to give a person, maybe I was to give another developer this code, we'll definitely know that I'm checking if 10 is greater than 10. You can imagine if you had a code that is maybe more than 1,000 lines, and then it happens that you didn't comment out your code. It will the person who will read through your code will lead into problems. So because he don't know what you are maybe trying to write, or the reasoning behind what you are writing. So it is a good practice always. And I will check these through while marking your assignments, because towards the end of this week you will have an assignment. I will check how you comment your code, and you will fail if you don't comment out your code, because it's a good practice to comment out your code. I'm sure we are preparing you to write codes so that they can be used in organizations. So,
Excuse me, James.
yeah, you can. Okay, ask.
What do you mean by commenting code?
Commenting code is simply explaining your code, like this code. If you didn't know this sign, just assume that this part doesn't exist. So when I write this, how do you know this one is a line of code, or even what I'm trying to do? Can you easily tell?
No, it's non-defined. You can't define. It's not defined, so it's not easy to identify what you are looking for.
Okay, so what if I add this comment here?
It's meaningful.
It's meaningful. So
this
is what we mean by commenting out your code.
Okay.
So given just a brief explanation of what you're doing.
So we use at the start we use the hash.
The hash
sign.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other question about commenting your code? Yes. Any other question?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, if I run without writing hash please like this,
yeah,
and then it answer also the same your answer, does that mean we have not defined the code? Because you said it will not run.
Not defining your code, it will run. What I'm saying is,
yeah, it have run. Yeah,
it will run. The problem is, okay, let's say you are giving your code, maybe this line of code, to a person who have never entered a class of maybe programming. Will he know what is this you are doing without this comment? Can he easily tell? Yeah, so it's good to explain your code. It's good to explain your code, and we do that through comments. Is that well explained?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Now I have another question.
Okay, you can ask.
So tomorrow when we are starting the next class, in corner there is place that they wrote name and last modified. So we just click at the last place, then we continue. We don't need to open another place new.
Or another okay. Of course, I know you guys you have been writing codes, yeah?
Yeah.
You should name your if you check my naming convention here. I have written it lecture 1, yeah?
I'm just chilling here.
You can just mute your mic. You can just label your codes according to lectures, so that I'll show you how to push these or all these codes into GitHub. I think I mentioned GitHub on a file that I had submitted earlier. It's good that you name your codes like this, so that now this file will only contain materials for lecture 1, and now when we are starting another lecture tomorrow, we'll have a lecture 2 file that will again contain all the codes that we are going to write in lecture 2. I think that is the best way to approach that, unless maybe someone has a different approach. But I'll show you how to. Has anybody has anybody created an account in GitHub?
Yes.
So you have an account. Any other person?
Okay.
Any other person? I'll give a link. So you shouldn't worry. You make sure that you have created account on GitHub, so that I'll also give I'll give you the steps to follow, so that you can push this file in your GitHub repo. Mostly, if you are a developer, most of your employers will be checking your GitHub account to see if you have ever written any line of code. So, and because I know this one is for starters, at least it's good to upload that code into your GitHub account, so that your potential employers can see how you started coding. I think that's all for this lecture. We have okay. I almost left out this one. There is a outline commenting. We use 3 quotation marks. This one. You can try to run this one. I almost left it out. We can just try to run this. You see the output. You'll see the same output here, hello world, but now we have a different way of commenting. You can either use the hash or use this one. If you have maybe a large explanation, you can always use this one. This is a comment written in more than just one line, like this one. So, any question for this lecture? The floor is just open for questions, or any other, maybe a concern, or maybe something you want us to address tomorrow before we start the lecture.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
I just want to inquire regarding the lecture today. Is it recorded? Because somehow I have poor internet connection.
Yes, the lecture has been recorded. You said you will get the link to the lecture.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other question, or maybe a concern, or maybe a comment?
Programming is interesting.
Oh, that's cool. Yes, of course. Programming is very interesting because you are just directing the machines to do what you want. So, it's just an interesting stuff.
Yeah, again, I would love you keep on sharing the notes when you, yeah, probably even before the class. Like today, you shared early. Some of us went through them, so
Okay.
it's easy to follow. It becomes very easy and enjoyable.
Okay, that one is noted.
And also the PCP files, if you have them, CSV, Excel.
Okay, those ones we are going to share later on in the course. Any other question? Let me stop sharing. Any other comment? You can just comment about today's class. Oyaro, Philip.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any question or a comment?
No. It's been an interesting class.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks.
And Peter, please take us slow. We are new in we are new to this.
Today was very fast.
No, there are some girls maybe they have some experience in coding and they are using big terminologies, so they take us slow.
Oh, okay. Okay. That one is noted.
Yeah, even me, I'm with him with Zero, so you don't, especially the screen don't scroll quickly,
Oh, okay.
so we can try to type also.
Okay, okay. I'll share the notes as well as the recording. Any other question, Zahra? Zahra?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. How is the programming so far?
It's much better than yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, yesterday.
At least.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm new in the program language, but I'm trying. Yeah. But where you'll advise us to get more practice, because I mean today a lot of new terms for me.
Okay. I'll give you the practices.
Thank you.
Yeah. Another person here, Pirska. Pirska, are you able to unmute your mic and say something? Or any other person, Alvin?
Well, I can say the class has been okay
Okay.
and very interesting.
Okay.
Only that requesting maybe you can at least give us a few more time to type as you lecture us,
Oh, okay.
and if possible, you can share the Python file for today, now that you've used for the lecture.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll share.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The class was enjoyable, interesting, flowing,
Okay.
but maybe take us step by step for those. Yes.
Well, I need to. Okay. Any other person? I think it's already time. I will try not to use more complex terms, but I don't know which terms I'll use because those are the only terms that we have in programming, but I'll try to explain the terms. Alvin, you are saying something.
I was requesting if you can share the Jupyter notebook file that you used for the lecture today, please.
Okay. I will do that. I'll definitely do that. I guess that is all for today. You guys have a good night. And before I go night, I think the class was very interactive. And continue with the same spirit. Yeah. Programming is easy. So see you tomorrow.
Thank you for the encouragement.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Good night, all.
Yes.
Thank you.